1 second. You need to sit up a little bit.
Chair.
You ready?
All right. Another episode 247, Ballin with Rich. So happy to be back in the building. One more Sunday, y'all.
Yes.
All right. I tell you, this weather trying to make me catch a cold, y'all. And that's something I don't usually get. I don't have one, but I'm telling you, 80 degrees one day, next day 50, next day 70. Day after that 40. I don't know what to do. Up and down. Y'all know how we do it in Michigan, though. We used to it. But so glad to be here. Another Sunday. And today, one of my favorite Sundays of the year, y'all. The tradition continues. Wrestlemania weekend, y'all. Yes. This is just something that the tradition, like I said, goes on. I've been doing it for ever since I got into wrestling back in 1985. 1985. Yep. And shout out the reason that was responsible for it. Shout out to my brother Luther Bailey, y'all. Luther Bailey. He's the one that got me into it. I'll never forget that night. We used to live upstairs from him in the family flat, and he came to the door. He was like, "Richard, the Saturday Night Main Event coming on tonight. Come down here, check it out." I'm all like, "Saturday Night Main Event?" Mm-hmm. Well, and went down there, just looked at it, and the first wrestler that caught my eye, my favorite wrestler in the beginning, and he's always number one in my book, and he's a wrestler that nobody probably would ever think, but I love that guy. Nikolai Volkov. Nikolai Volkov. On in, Nikolai Volkov. Yes, sir. That's the guy that got me loving wrestling. There's just something about him. And from there, went to my first WrestleMania 2 that next year. And just like I said, over the years, just love wrestling. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you guys out there that had experience as far as wrestling, and I know there's a lot of people now that's not into it like they used to be. And I'm kind of not into it like I used to be, but I still love it. And I never thought my daughter would carry on that tradition. I found out she got into it. I'm like, oh my God, But like I said, it's WrestleMania weekend, y'all, and we about to have a good time just talking about wrestling. We're gonna talk about some other stuff too, but let's get this thing going. I want to put on my first guest here. This young lady, I want to put her on. She's by virtual. This young lady here, I found out, I'm like, it's always good to have another person in the crew that loves, wrestling. And one of Monique's best friend's daughter. And she was like, she loved it and said she's really into it. And I was like, I would love her to hang out with us. We go to the events or something. I love, And let me introduce y'all to this young lady here. So glad to have her on the show. Miss Leah Gilmore is in the building. Leah. Hey, Leah.
Hi.
Hey. She said hi. I love the way you said that. Hi. How's it going, Leah?
It's good.
It's going good? All right. So good to see you. So good to have you aboard. This is, like I said, this is a WrestleMania weekend. I know you're kind of happy about that. How's it going so far with the WrestleMania weekend for you?
It's going good.
Okay. Matter of fact, I would love to know. I'm curious to know. How did you get involved in wrestling? How did you first start liking it? What made you look at it and was like, oh, I like this?
It was like one night, and it was like on TV, and I was wondering what it was. I think Asuka was wrestling. And it just looked interesting, and then I think a couple of weeks or like a month later, I started watching the Mondays and Fridays.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you were just like, oh, I like this. They body slamming each other, throwing each other in the rope, and all kind of stuff. Which wrestler caught your attention in the beginning? Which wrestler was it a certain wrestler that you was looking at and was like, oh, I like them?
Actually, at the beginning, I didn't really have any favorites. Like, I had
Okay.
people who I liked wrestling, but I didn't really have like a favorite one.
Okay. Okay. It's just as a collective, they just came together, and you were just like, okay, as a collective, I like what they're doing. All right. All right. I'm gonna definitely get back with you, Layla. There's so much, so much I want to talk to you about as far as wrestling. So much. I'm gonna introduce the rest of my panel. Here we go. This next young lady here, I mentioned her before. This young lady, like I said, when I stopped watching it for a minute, I didn't know that she was loving it. You know, I would have the people over for wrestling or whatever. I didn't think she paid attention. And I remember the one pay-per-view I went to that they had downtown, and I took a buddy, son. And she was like, Dad, why you ain't take me? I was like, I didn't think you liked it. She was like, yeah. I was like, and ever since then, I was like, okay, okay. So good to have her in the building. Miss Howard University, y'all.
Lord.
Yes, sir. Monet Heath is in the building. Yes, sir.
Hello. Woo. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Monet?
Doing good.
One of our favorite weekends, WrestleMania weekend.
Yes, definitely. I always say, some people, they host Super Bowl parties. Some people, they host parties for the big fights. I say our house, we host WrestleMania parties.
Yeah.
We're WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Luther, I guess like I gave props to Luther, so I guess what you give me props for? I'm the one that introduced you to it, or
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine or think of the age. WrestleMania weekend has been going on my entire life. If it's one thing I'll remember, it's just getting the house ready for WrestleMania, even as a kid until today. So
yeah.
It's always been, and even as a kid when I didn't really, follow along, I still knew the Shawn Michaels, the Undertakers, the Batistas, John Cena's growing up. So that's why, when I started really watching, the story is you went to that pay-per-view and that next day you was like, you might see me on TV. So I sat and I watched the show, not knowing that how it operates. So I was convinced that you were going to be on TV. I didn't know I was watching a completely different show.
Okay.
So but after that, I just, kept watching consistently, and that kind of got me in. Along with that, around that time, Total Divas also came out. I love to give Total Divas props as well for getting me into it and really getting me into women's wrestling. So those two things, I mean, I don't want to be like girls just love reality shows, but I'm a girl, and not like reality TV, so that'll do it.
Yeah,
so.
I know that you was really into that too. I was like, hey, Mo, they loving that. Yeah. The Bella,
Lord.
not Nikki, the other one.
Oh.
I give props to her. Nikki, whatever. No, let me stop. So good to have you on the show. Yes. All right. I got to introduce my last guest here. This is a surprise guest, y'all. In the house, y'all. This young brother here, this is my brother here, y'all. I mentioned him. Y'all heard his name on a lot of other different shows that we've had. And when we hook up, we hook up when it comes to the wrestling. And I call this guy the king of karaoke, y'all. The king of karaoke. So good to have him in the building. Brother Parshay Matthews is in the building. Yes, sir. What's going on, Parshay?
Just getting ready for WrestleMania weekend.
I guess I can say it like The Rock. Finally. Parshay is in the building.
Right. The limousine riding, jet flying, kid still the Willie Bill and son of a gun. Diamonds are forever, and so is Shay. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about. How's it going today, brother?
Man, I'm awesome. I can't wait. I want to see my boy Dirty Dom, win this match.
Oh, wow.
That's my guy right there. And I want to say I'm really happy that my man Cody Rhodes took it in the face. That's right. My man Randy Orton might have lost the match, but that's okay. He got the boot to the face.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he sure did, for real. I'm saying. Let me get back to Layla real quick. I want to ask her, Layla, did you check out episode 1 last night? Did you get a chance to check out the night 1?
No.
Oh, you didn't check out night 1 yet? Okay, I was about to ask you how did you who was your favorite there? One thing I definitely want to ask you too. I like to ask what's some things that you love to do besides wrestling? When you're not watching wrestling, what's some other things that you love to get into?
I like to do art.
Oh.
And I like to play video games.
Oh, what's your favorite?
Like favorite video game?
Uh-huh.
Roblox.
Roblox, okay. Layla, I might have to give you a challenge one day. One day I gotta get a challenge on you. All right. I'm gonna get back with you, Miss Layla. Miss Monet, what did you let me ask you about night one last night. What would you give it overall your honest opinion about night one?
Honest opinion. I'm not gonna lie. It's low. It's really low.
A 5.
I wouldn't even give it a 5.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm looking at a 3 to 4. I'm very
on a scale of 1 to 10. Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was. I think a lot of the matches ended really quick and really weird. The one match that ended really, really weird for me was the Stephanie and Liv match. I just feel like it ended at such a weird point, and it was a lot of the best matches of the night. From what I saw, Drew and Jacob was really good, and Steph and Gunther was amazing, like really, really good until Brian Baker just come in at the end, mess up it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot we'll get into. But 3 to 4, I mean, I watch WrestleMania for more than just like the matches. I'll say I'm talking about match quality. Once again, I'm a girl. I love looking at gears.
Yeah.
I love entrances. So the theatrics is always going to be great. But when in terms of the quality of what was in the ring, it was subpar.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was like another Raw.
Yes, a lot of people were saying that.
I was going to ask you, Parsha, what were some of your thoughts on some of the things that you checked out on it?
It was like another Raw.
Really?
Yes. The matches was just, like she said.
It was just like yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Gunther match was good.
Really good.
Shout out to Gunther for winning. I don't care how you say he won, but he won.
Right.
He took Seth Rollins down like he's supposed to. That's my future champion right there coming up real soon.
And you know what? Another thing besides the matches bringing it down, the overall the crowd.
The crowd was
so weak.
It was weak.
The crowd was so weak. I mean, like if they were here or somewhere overseas or whatever, the crowd would get into it where at least make the match look like it's doing something. It just seemed like they were just. I mean, I was like, oh my God, they are dead. But you know, they didn't have WrestleManias in Vegas before, and it's been like that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Back and
was
forth.
that right? That was last year too. Wasn't it?
The one last year,
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of woke up a little bit last year. Certain things that happened, but they still was kind of. But going back to WrestleMania 4 and 5, even though those was good matches and everything, the crowd. Just their reactions to it. The Vegas crowd is just. I'm sorry.
I didn't like the scenery back then too. They had in there.
And I thought the stage this year was not good either. But I'm gonna try to leave them alone today. But the stage this year, it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania stage either. But
Miss Leia, who is your one of your favorite wrestlers now? Who do you love?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
There we go.
That's
what I'm talking about right there.
Yes, that's
what I'm talking about. Randy Orton.
great pick.
I can see you later. You probably be getting so excited every time he put that. What's the finishing move?
The RKO.
The RKO.
RKO from anywhere.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
You ain't put that move on any of your cousins or anything, have you?
No.
Okay. You had to think about it and say, let me make sure. Was it the RKO or was it the figure four leg lock? Let me make sure. Yeah, Randy Orton, he's definitely one thing I love about Randy Orton, ever since he came there, he was so matter of fact, is he still considered the youngest heavyweight champion?
That's a good question.
I think so. I know he
think
was
so.
during that time when he won, one of the youngest. But one thing I love about him during his career just kept rising from that time. So props to Randy Orton. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my favorite version of him was, I think, was that 2009?
2009.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Everybody
that
loved
right there.
2009.
2009 Randy Orton. That's who I love.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Calvin Deals. He's watching. He said the pace was too fast last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
and
was.
somebody, I would have to look at that tweet, but somebody had like a rundown of how long each match was.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the advertisements in total were longer than the match time.
Yeah, they had commercials.
Yeah,
a whole lot of
and
commercials
that's what I
last
told Monet last night. It was, let's see, it was like around 9, not even almost 9, and the main event was coming. I said, Monet, they gonna stretch this somehow, and they sure did. They
started at
stretched
9:30.
Right.
because that main event didn't go off till almost 11. So I'm like, man, they,
Yeah.
if that was the case, they could have added what was tonight into last night. They could have did that.
Making
you know.
a case for one night WrestleMania. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I got Miss Leia in the building. I got Monet. I got Parche. Yes, sir. My homegirl Shelly on the side there. Yes, sir. The wifey engineer in the house, y'all. This is WrestleMania weekend, y'all. We geek. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, you know, like I said, I just it's always just been in me, the wrestling. Even the times when the couple years when I sat it down for a minute, you know, I like to peek and still see what's going on, whatever. You know, matter of fact, during the time when I stopped watching it, though, that was that time. Parche was when remember Hogan and all them left, and then Vince, he was bringing in like the clowns and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember during that time the house shows where it was like, I was like, Vince is. Oh, you know, and I will say the one guy that saved the day during that time, I think was it Stone Cold? Was it Stone Cold during that time? Stone Cold. He saved that. Because remember WCW was taking over when Hulk Hogan, especially when he turned bad. Hulk Hogan went over there and turned bad. NWO, man, they killed they was killing them in ratings like for the first almost year, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, but. Shout out, but like I was talking to Monet one night, I said seriously, I know people talk about him, and I know he's something behind the scenes sometimes. But shout out to Vince McMahon, man. That guy, you got to give it up to Vince McMahon. I told her, she laughed. I'm sorry, this is just me personally, as a businessman, as a guy, a visionary guy. I got to give it to you. Just got to give it to him because anybody could have folded. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I was in the charge of WWE during that time and what NW and all them was doing, I'd probably be like, dang, man, you know, it was like everything was lost. It was a lost cause, but
right, because he lost his big stars.
Yeah, he sure did.
He had to build back up, like he said. Steve Austin was really nothing in WCW. He was a mid-carder. So he went to WWF, became a main eventer.
Yeah.
Look how he is now. He's a legend.
He's a legend. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Shout out to y'all know where to be Tuesday evenings. Miss Lauren Lewis, y'all. Detroit City Deals is in the building. Yes, sir. Detroit City Deals. Y'all check her out Tuesday evenings. Yes, sir. All right. She said, hey, Ballin family. All right. And Calvin, he also said, oh, I lost it. He was saying something about, he said something. It won't show up on my phone. He said something before that I had said he said. All right. Miss Leia, you any shout outs you want to get anybody out there? Anybody, your family, friends, anybody. Go ahead, give your shout outs to anybody you want to shout out. Anybody.
I want to give a shout out to my mom.
Yes, okay.
Anybody else?
Got some any of your friend, anybody else you want to shout out? Matter of fact, you want to give a shout out to your favorite wrestler too?
I guess I want to give a shout out to Randy Orton.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to brother RK.
All
right.
Oh, the Usos. Yes. Oh, you down with Monique now? That's Monique. Monique loves the Usos. Yes. She'll stop whatever she's doing and whenever they come on, watch them. She loves her Usos. Yes, sir. All right.
Oh, and Toya said for her to show her shirt.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can we see your shirt, Leia? I want to see the shirt that you got on.
Say Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
Oh, you got the Uso. Oh my God. I love it. Yes, sir. I love that shirt. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Can you tell Toya, could she give me a copy of that shirt? That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Now, Calvin said the tribal chief is coming with the W.
Yes, that's what he said.
No.
Okay, yes. There you go, Calvin. Yes, sir. The tribal chief definitely coming tonight with the W. That's
right.
That's the match I can't wait for. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
CM Punk is old. I'm tired of his little injuries. Every time he wrestles, he gets hurt. It's time to move on from that guy. we need the tribal chief be champ again.
Parche, I don't even think I asked you. When did you? Matter of fact, when did you get involved with wrestling back in the day? When did it?
I
When did you
was
watch?
waiting for you to say that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happened was, it was one night that my father took me to wrestling. We were in the second row, and we saw Bobo Brazil. Now, he was
Oh
older
man,
than
that Bobo, yeah, huh?
Yeah, so him and this other guy was fighting. Two other guys with tag team match, and they grabbed a chair right next to us and started swinging on the other guys. It was blood on the mat, and then I was just like, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. So my father said, "That's not real blood." Then I looked. He said, "Oh yes, it is." So I got a little nervous and all that. Then when I came home, Andy Kaufman was beefing with Jerry Lawyer.
Okay.
And then they was on Saturday Night Live acting up. And after that, I just started loving wrestling.
Just started loving it.
Right. Then that's when on Rocky, Hulk Hogan, as Thunder Lips came on there.
Thunder Lips. That was it.
I just started loving wrestling.
Yeah.
And my favorite wrestler, is Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, yeah.
That's right.
Parse loves some Ric Flair.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
But that's one of my idols. Bruce Lee, growing up, it was Ali and Ric Flair.
That's what I'm talking about. Miss Leia, what'd you think about last night as far as the announcement about Bianca Belair?
I think it was kind of like, I knew she had like injured her hand, but I also knew it had been like a long time since she was in the ring. So like it's not too surprising, but like I didn't know like if that was like already the plan.
Okay. Yeah. Because matter of fact, when she took that robe off last night, she looked like she was about almost there.
Right.
But people were saying it still looked like her stomach is cut up, even though she's pregnant.
She still had her physique. Yeah, she did. Yeah. Shout out to Miss Bianca Belair. Yes, sir.
Shout out to her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's something they talked about on their show. She kind of was hesitant to get pregnant because she was so hot at the time. And then I just say, even though this is bad that happened to her, it just might be a reason that she hurt her, her hand, that gave her time to do that or whatever.
But plus her husband is not. He's not out there right now. He's sitting at home. It seems like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So both of them in the building was like dun 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 dun. No. Shout out to what's my brother's name? What's his name?
Montez.
Montez. Shout out to Montez. Yes. Matter of fact, I really wish that they make him a single guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
They blew it.
They did.
Yeah.
After that elimination chamber, it should have been.
Yeah.
That should have been there.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Montez, that guy, he got a few. I mean, he could tag team partner, but as far as single, that guy could go on and win one of them titles for real. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Miss Monet, what was one of your big? I already know probably. What was one of your big surprises of last night? That was something that happened last night that you were kind of like,
I think, really the Bianca thing was probably the biggest surprise for me. There was already rumors out about Paige returning, which is also, I have an issue with the current landscape of wrestling media, but it was already said that it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, but they did have to throw something together last minute because Nikki was injured. So it makes you, it's like, is this like a short-term thing with Paige? Or, I mean, I'm all for it, but I'm all for things making sense too, So
yeah, you know how I felt about that match last night. You know how I felt about that part. They gonna sit up there. Shout out to Nia Jackson and shout out to Nia Jackson, y'all, and my girl Lash came out with the how you gonna lose? They came out with the demolition, represent demolition mask, y'all. It came down looking like yes. But at least they didn't get pinned though. They weren't the ones that got pinned.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't get the champions didn't get pinned. So get ready to see a rematch and Paige, y'all going down, man.
Right. I never was a fan of Paige.
Me even when we met her that night.
I thought she was nice.
But shout out to Paige. I give it to her. She was kind of she was kind of nice that night, but I wouldn't even think, my mom wasn't really on Paige anyway.
Oh, Lord.
It wasn't on nobody.
Right.
But that was true. I always laugh. I always think about Parche about that night when I was writing. I was like, oh, we next to him. Parche wrote the big league. He said, calm down, dog. Calm down, man. Just calm down. All right.
3:00 in the morning almost on the school night trying to follow wrestlers too.
No.
But but you know what though? That night, like like some things, it was just supposed to happen. I guess it was crazy how that happened. I mean, we were leaving the Raw.
We was trying to
we
eat
were
something.
leaving. We used to go get something to eat after Raw.
Yeah.
And Monet, we was sitting. She sitting back. She's like, "Dad, it's saying we're here,
Don't
Cage."
say this. Don't say that.
What?
Don't tell the story. Don't tell the full story. Don't tell the full
You don't want
story.
me to tell the story how I zipped that car around?
Just know we ended up at the same place.
We ended up at the same
time.
spot.
I don't know how it happened.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell your sources. You just said Dad, such and such. I was like, well,
That's
really?
telling my sources.
Okay. Miss Journalist, okay. All right. I got Miss Leia in the building, Parche, Monet. Yes, sir. Wifey engineer, y'all. All right. Miss Leia, I wanted to definitely ask you, because you said you art, I know you probably an A student too. Are you a student?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. What school you attending? What grade you in?
I go to Sarah Banks in
Okay.
Ward Lake, and I'm in 7th grade.
Okay. All right.
7th grade? What?
All right. I gotta get my
way.
cane out, man.
Man.
I remember your mom used to carry you. Oh man.
Oh.
All right. Did your mom ever? I'm pretty sure your mom ever told you about the story about. I used to always love hearing that story about. Did she always tell you about how her mom them used to hang out with Eminem's mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real good friends. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I remember when I heard that back in the day. I was like, oh wow. Yes, sir. That street is legend. Yeah. And she told me about. She used to tell me about that that house that he put on the cover of his CD. That's the house on you guys' old street too. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. Yes, sir. Ms. Leia, like, yes, sir. Matter of fact, Ms. Leia, are you into rap, Ms. Leia? Do you like rap?
Not really. I'm more into pop
Oh, okay.
and K-pop. Just like pop in general.
Okay.
Like never really been into like jazz or country.
Okay.
I feel like they can be like slow. But my mom likes rap sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot Miss DJ. Miss Toya the DJ. Yes, sir. Who's one of your favorite artists? Who do you love listening to? Some of your artists that you just love listening to that you can put on and be like, yes.
I like to listen to like boy bands, like NSYNC. I like.
Oh, NSYNC.
Wow.
All right.
I also like BTS.
Okay. Yes, sir. That's Miss Leia. She got a nice little catalog there. All right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Monet, who you listening to? Who's some of your favorites?
Right
I already
now.
know one. Oh, time she get in the car, be like, oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. Right now I'm really Coachella just ended. So I've been big on Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina
recently.
Carpenter?
Yes, I love Sabrina Carpenter. Hope she goes on tour soon. And another, I feel like I brought this up the last time I was here though, but I've been getting into like Radiohead recently. So unfortunately, my mom probably she don't like when I play. Y'all don't like when I play Radiohead in the car.
You know, but I do like the I like the different side. Me. Now you know me. I'm a music person. I love listening to all genres. Some of it I do be like, oh, okay, I get with this. Some of it be like, oh, Monet, you gonna hurry but cut this one off, man. Brother Parche, this is the guy here. You talk about a guy that knows his music or whatever. Parche, definitely give us some of your favorites, man. Old school, new school that you just pop on at any time.
Tank.
Yo, you Tank.
Tyrese.
Did you watch the
How was the verses? You saw the verses?
Yes, I watched the verses. I didn't like the way Tank did Tyrese. That's
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like that. I wear turtlenecks. I was a little offended.
Oh, okay.
I didn't appreciate
Take
that.
off that turtleneck.
I didn't. It was just certain things he kind of did wrong to Tyrese.
I agree.
Really?
Disrespect.
Really?
Yes. You know they supposed to be boys, but he just went off he just took it personal. Right.
Wow.
They still are.
Yeah. I heard Tyrese on the Breakfast Club talking about it recently too. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And then her boy, Genuine.
Genuine.
I can't help it.
Oh Lord.
Then there's a young lady out there. She's been around a while. I love Victoria Monet.
Victoria Monet. You know what? I just got into her. That young lady is
to her
nice
for years, and she
really?
finally getting it now.
Really, I just got into her, and I was just like, oh man, I'm late. But yeah, she. Of course, with a name like Monet, you can't go wrong. Yes, sir.
Right.
But yeah, Victoria Monet.
Right.
Yes.
It was like in October London.
Oh yeah.
October London. Oh yes.
Toya, she said, trust that I have to play some Wax Tax and Dre for her to get her into the grooves. Yes, sir. Shout out. Matter of fact, speaking of Wax Tax and Dre, that's one thing I'm excited about, y'all. Next month, y'all got to be with me. We got a show that's going down. We celebrating some of the new dance show dancers, y'all.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We celebrating the new dance show dancers. They're going to be in the building.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, just going back in history, whatever. Just having a good time, celebrating them. Yes, sir.
New dance show and the scene.
And the scene. Yes, sir. New dance show / scene. So it's gonna be a great show coming your way in May, y'all. Yes, sir.
I hope Moses be there because I
He's trying to get in contact with Moses.
Yeah. But right now I got Brother Parche, I got Leia, I got Monet in the building. Yes, sir. Shout out to Miss one of my faves, y'all, and people still talking about that show from last week. Miss Lake be everywhere, y'all. She's watching. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all.
Mark is at it.
And definitely my brother Mark is in the building. He said, "What up, though?" Yes, sir. Shout out to another person that was in the building a couple weeks ago, Miss Kelly Payton, y'all. Yes, sir. Representing.
Kelly.
Yes, sir. So good that you guys are joining in. Y'all right. And like I said, this is WrestleMania weekend, y'all. And I got to mention this, just go off the WrestleMania just for a quick minute, because I have to mention this because these have been, Marche too, Monet, our boys. We know it's WrestleMania weekend, but shout out to them Detroit Pistons, y'all. Wait a minute. I forgot, not Parche. Wait. I take that back, y'all.
Any game we go to,
I'm serious.
for the opposite team.
You know what? I wish we need to start a reality show at the game with Parche.
Yes.
That would be cool. We need to get us a camera. Seriously, that would be cool.
Parche reminded me of my dad was like that. He never rooted for our team.
Really?
He used to love Chicago.
When I first met you, that's all I'm talking about, Michael. I used to be like, oh,
and
Lord.
he used to always tease like when they would like beat us or whatever.
Right.
My dad was like that. He would be happy a little bit when they would win,
right.
but he kind of more so rooted against our teams.
That's cool though.
Yeah, 'cause you don't like the Lions either.
He don't like the
I don't
Lions.
like the Lions.
Yeah.
Like I said, for the dedicated fans, I wish the best for you all. But for me personally, I don't care.
Yeah. I was really surprised. One day I did in a real short story, just real quick, Parche. Could you tell the reason why a lot of the Detroit team, you just I already know you already told me the story about the Lions that you were one time with them, but you just like back in the day, you just like, man, I just can't take this no more, man.
What happened with the Lions? They had one of the best quarterbacks in the 90s. They had Scott Mitchell.
Yeah, he was during that time.
They had the best running back. And they only won one playoff game during that time. That's a big disappointment. I spent a whole lot of money in the 90s, and I didn't get just one playoff win. They had the right players during that time.
Yeah, they did.
But the wrong coach.
I liked them, but we could have
needed somebody
better.
Disciplined.
Yeah, we could have somebody a little bit better. But I love Wayne. You know, I was a Wayne guy.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying though. Like if they would have threw somebody like a
you can say a Bill Cowher,
a Parcell in there,
right.
or somebody. Yeah.
They with that talented team, they should have won more.
Yeah, that's one thing that do upset me about my Lions from back then. We had the teams, y'all. That's why what's going on now, a lot of people that's just getting into what's going on. We done seen this before. It's
right.
like I'm excited or whatever, but y'all just gotta win, man. Y'all gotta y'all got the team to do it. Just
right.
Get out there and do it. Yeah. It's good. But one good thing about it, I mean, you want teams to win playoffs and championships, but one good thing, it's good to see them winning again.
Right.
It's good to see them winning again. It really is.
Right. Now, if you want to say about the Pistons, it happened May 26, 1987.
Oh, my.
Really?
It happened when Isaiah Thomas had the ball. All he had to do was pass the ball in to Lambert, but no, he let Larry Bird steal the ball. Then Dennis Johnson come up for the layup, and they won. During that time, they like they was gonna win because everybody was celebrating. He was happy. Yeah, I was happy. I was giving my father a high five. Next thing I know, the game was over that fast.
But I'm surprised you gave up on them after that, Parsha. I mean, that was disappointing. But that's something that you would be upset about. But you'd be like, let me.
I cried.
Aw.
You oh, really?
Because if you remember, they took the ball out. We was like, all he had to do is put the ball in play. That was it. And while I was giving my father high fives, while that was going on, then I got my heart broken.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Miss Leia, have you ever had a chance yet to go to a live event, WWE event yet?
No.
You haven't. Next one, would you be honored to come down and join us to go? Would you like to go with us one day if you up to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna remember when they come back in town.
Thanks
I'm
for
gonna
asking.
Huh?
Oh, she said thanks for asking.
Oh yeah. Definitely love to have you. You know what? I love to have somebody on board that's into it.
Yes.
I can see you having a good time too. You're gonna have a good time. I tell you. Matter of fact, Parsha, I got to ask you this, man, because you was in the building when I met you and we found out we had a common wrestling, whatever, and I found out you was in the building too with the 93,000 plus, man.
93,000, brother.
173, man.
Fans, brother.
Can you? I love because people always hear from me about how I felt. I'd love to hear from you, somebody else too. What was that? Just walking into that building, that atmosphere, that whole night. What was your demeanor that whole day, Parsha?
I was excited. I had never been in anything, that event that big at that time. I couldn't wait for Andre the Giant to beat Hulk Hogan. I was so excited. I mean, it was I don't know, everybody just running around, just happy.
It was.
Right.
Everybody ran into in that stadium that night.
It was just happy.
Everybody was just
happy.
it was a happening that it really was. It was just like, that's why that will always be considered one of my favorite WrestleManias, especially being there too.
Right.
And then to be a part of what they still consider the slam heard around the world that changed wrestling.
Yes.
To be there, that's really,
Yes.
And still, Parsha, me, in my opinion, to this day, I always tell Monet this. I'm serious. I always tell her what was her loudest, like the loudest crowd reaction she ever been to a main event when we've been there.
Yeah.
I still tell her to this day the loudest. I've been to a lot of them, but the loudest to this day still that I heard was when Ricky beat the Macho Man. Man, that crowd,
Yes.
Man. Every time, even when I watch the video, and I love just turn it up. It's just oh my God, man. You talk about a feeling, man.
That was
awesome.
That was a great feeling for you all. Don't forget, I'll go the other way.
Okay.
It was a sad moment for me. Macho Man was my favorite. It was my favorite WWF wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I was hurt. But then they did Ricky Steamboat wrong. They only let him have the belt for like 2 months.
And one quick other thing real quick. That's another thing too. That's one thing that's missing, I believe, in today's WWE. I like the way they just set up the feuds back then. The feuds were set up where it was just like, oh my, they kind of do a good job of certain things now, but the feuds back then,
yes,
it was like, wow,
right?
Like we were talking about the Steamboat Macho Man feud. He sat up there, took a veil, and during that time
he couldn't even talk.
Yeah, took the veil and put it in his neck and put him out of action. And it was like back then, we was all like, oh my God, But just the setups were and then with George the Animal still involved in it because he loved Elizabeth. It just
Right.
I think a lot of in today's WWE, they have potentials of setting up some real good feuds, but they don't let it blossom long enough because they so quick since they doing a pay-per-view every month. It's like they kind of get quick into okay, we can set this up and let's keep going.
Well, I like back then when people used to betray Hulk Hogan. Oh, the fans were so hurt. Like my favorite one was Mr. Wonderful.
That was still one of the.
He lift Hulk Hogan hand up and he clothesline and then pile drive him.
Would you say that's your favorite turn of all time?
That is.
Monet, what's your favorite turn of all time that since you've been watching it? A favorite turn that you wasn't even expecting, or you was like, wow, when it happened. A good
Oh
turn.
my gosh! Probably when Seth turned on the Shield, especially it hurt.
Oh.
It hurt at that time, but it's one of the better heel turns I've seen.
Leia, did you have a turn since you've been watching? Have you saw a certain thing that wrestler turned on each other that you were just like, oh wow, or any feud that you just was like, ooh.
Give her a minute, probably think about
Oh,
it.
okay,
Think about
that's okay.
it,
Yeah.
I would say like Naomi turning on Bianca.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh yes,
That's a good.
That's a good. Yes.
That's a real good one.
That would, you know what, Leia, that one got me. I was really upset. But Monet
It was so good. I was still convinced. JB Naomi. I was like, oh, I still don't think Naomi did. I was still convinced Naomi didn't do it after. I was like, she didn't do it, y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Naomi.
Yes.
Can't wait for her to come back.
Yeah, yes. I'm glad we got a chance to see her before she left. Remember when she when she was here and
that
man,
last Detroit show.
yeah. But like I said, Miss Leia, you when we get ready to go to another one, you are definitely welcome to come with us, whatever, and just have a good time with us. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. You're gonna enjoy it. Like I said, it's nothing about going to that first one. I always think about when Monet went to that first one, and I was like, I didn't think she was having more fun than me. She was sitting up there, you know.
It's nothing like it.
Parshay's favorite, woo! That's all they was doing.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
walk in before the match started, woo! Everybody, but it's nothing like being at a live event, though. It's nothing like being at a live event when you can go to one. Yes, sir. But we're gonna have you, Miss Leia. Yes, sir. Make sure you wear that Uso. You probably gonna have another one by then, but that Uso was nice. I love that. Make sure you tell Toya to bring my Uso too. Yes, sir. Shout out. Speaking of them real quick, I got to give a shout. This Parshay, this is my, like I always had that one wrestler that I see now that I'm like, man, this guy, he's the future to me. Jacob Fatu, man.
Really?
Jacob Fatu, man. I love Jacob Fatu, man.
I gotta give my shout out.
That brother is nice. I love Jacob Fatu. I think I got a feeling in the coming years, this guy, they gonna really, yes.
The one I see they gonna push to me is Trick Williams.
My boy.
Trick Williams.
Yes. Okay, I want to shout out Oba Femi, and he better win tonight. He better win.
That's the match I'm looking forward to. Yes, that's gonna be
Yes, that man. That's like when I look at. That's just the future. I feel like he just reminds me of those bigger guys, you know, that do well. The Brocks, he has it. I've been like following anytime, like, because I don't watch NXT weekly, but I always try to watch like the at least the premium events. I will always get excited to see that he was fighting. Like, yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir. I need for you people, even if you're not into wrestling no more, but at one time you might have been, call and tell me who was your favorite wrestler back then, or who you like it now, or I know some people they get involved in WrestleMania weekend. They still got their things going. You know, I always keep in contact with certain them. If you're watching, go ahead and 810-560-0658, one of your favorites. You know, yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's so funny. Last night when we were like just cleaning up a little bit, I found the old Parshay. I never watched it. I'm surprised I never watched it. Cleaning up and I found it. I said, I'm about to cut this on since it's WrestleMania weekend. I got an old DVD of, what is it, the top
50 greatest wrestlers
top 50
of all time.
greatest wrestlers of all time.
And it was peer voted, so people within the company voted.
So I was like, whoa, I was a little bit upset, man. Who was number one? I was like, okay.
Who do you think they would say number one?
Who would you think that the peer, if the peers all time was voted for all time, who did you think, Parshay?
Ric Flair.
And guess what? Parshay, he didn't even crack the top 10, man.
What?
On that, that's why I was like, what? Ric Flair was he 17?
Like 17.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
17. Hulk Hogan was 23.
Yeah.
23.
So who do they have? Harley Race?
Harley Race was
like number 6.
6.
Okay.
6 or 5. Yeah, Harley Race, he made it. But I was just like, because I guess Monet, she saw the tape, but I never saw it.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and I heard that from something else. I heard that who number one was.
Guess who their number one was? Who would you just guess if we were just right now just to?
How far was it? It was an old wrestler?
No, he wasn't like
multi-generation.
Probably he was along with us, but he wasn't really that thing back then. But he became one.
Oh my goodness!
He wasn't. He was when we was watching it. He was there, but he wasn't top guy. But as time went on, they made him,
I couldn't tell you that.
Number one, y'all, on that list of top 50 by their peers was Shawn Michaels.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Really?
That's my favorite entertainer wise. Like, right when they come to wrestling, you can throw him all over the place. He flying all over.
Yes.
I can see that. Because that's like one of my top 3.
Really, Shawn Michaels. Really, yeah. I get
Him,
the
Macho Man, and Shawn Michaels.
So, shout out to I get like he never was my. I don't know why
He deserved it.
I respect Shawn Michaels, his moves and everything. He just never was one of mine that I.
That was my nickname in bowling at one time. I was the showstopper.
Really, matter of fact, shout out to Parshay hit his 300s again, y'all. He's back, y'all. Hit his 300s in bowling, y'all.
Yes.
Parshay, tell us about real quick about being back in that. Well, I know you in the league, but you keep it going.
Right.
How did it feel to get that 300 again,
It felt
bro?
real good. It's been 5 years since I bowled my last 300. So it was like a blessing because I've had a rough year. I have arthritis and tendonitis in my wrist, arthritis on my right shoulder, on my right knee. Then plus I had other health problems in 5 years. Didn't have the strength. So what happened was 3 weeks ago, I hurt my knee. So I said I couldn't move fast. So I started slowing my steps. And I said, oh, shoot, I'm bowling better. I can bowl better. So I slowed my steps down, and then 300.
Nice.
On the last, look, it happened on April 16th. I had bowled a 300 on April 14th, 2 on April 15th, and 2 on April 16th.
Get my boy Parshay a clap. Yes, sir.
It happens at the end of the season every time.
Yes, sir. Shout out to brother Parshay. Yes, sir. All right. I got Miss Leia. Miss Leia, anything you want to ask? Anything you want to ask anybody on the panel or anything? Had a comment? You go right ahead. I'd love to hear from you.
What are your favorite wrestlers?
My favorite wrestlers? Let me give you my top 5. Let me give you my 5. I think my top 5 favorite of all. I mean, these 5 that I can look at any time and be like, yes, these just my 5. One, definitely Ric Flair. Ric Flair's in there. Ric Flair.
Yes.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage, no doubt. I don't care what anybody said about this guy. During that time, I loved this guy. The Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was one of them. I'm sorry. I know people talk about. I'm sorry. To me, that was my man. Ultimate Warrior. When he ran down that aisle, you talk about pumping me up. That was my brother there. I will admit, some of his wrestling skills wasn't. But as far as entertaining the crowd and just getting Ultimate Warrior, he in there. Another one, number 4. I have to throw in John Cena. John Cena, that's my brother there. John Cena, yes, one of my favorites. And then if I had to go one more, I would have to say, as far as males, I would have to say, this is the guy that got me back into wrestling, kind of. I mean, I was peeking at it, but he really made me want to focus back. The Rock. The Rock, yes.
The most electrifying man in wrestling.
Yes, that guy there, he during that time, yes, I was like, man, yes, sir. And I love his journey, as far as wrestling. Before he became The Rock, he was another wrestler, and he wasn't getting a lot of pop back then. They was like, oh, Lord, who's this?
Right.
And he changed his persona to The Rock, and the rest is history.
Right.
Do you like Triple H and Shawn Michaels?
You know what? Honorable mention, Triple H. You know what? When he first came, I didn't. They had him was he like a butler?
He was like a British guy.
Yeah, a British guy. They had him like that, and I didn't. So when I got back into wrestling and saw that he had changed his persona a little bit, I was like, that's Triple H. Because they didn't call him Triple H then, they called him Hunter Helmsley. Hunter Helmsley.
Right.
But Triple H, he's definitely on that list though. Triple H is one of my favorites during the years. I love Triple H. Yes, that's one guy. Shout out to him. Shout out to his wife Stephanie McMahon in the Hall of Fame. Yes,
right.
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another wrestler I liked back then was Rick Rude.
Rick, you know what? He should have. I believe
He was in. He was in the video, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They had him on. I think he was they had him like number 30 or 40 somewhere around.
Yeah.
But Rick Rude, he was a guy. His
Right. That was one of my favorites right there.
All right, Miss Glow. Shout out to Miss Glow Hawk. She said The Rock is my favorite.
I love The Rock.
Yes. That's one thing. Like I said during that time, The Rock alone, man. He just. I know Stone Cold was the blueprint, but The Rock
was my favorite.
The Rock. It was just something about. He would just. I mean, he could just handle a show all by himself if he could.
With those Versace shirts.
Yeah.
He used to wear. Yep, I used to like them.
Yes, sir. Layla, I'd like to know. Give me three, 4 wrestlers that you would love to meet. If you got a chance to meet them today, give me 3 or 4 of them that you would just love to just meet personally, if you can.
Randy Orton.
Oh, I should have knew.
Michaels,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Who's the other 2 you said?
The Usos.
Oh, the Usos. Okay. She made them 2. Okay. Yes, sir. The Usos. Yes, sir. They hang out a lot here too. They just don't know where. But they be
They at the bars.
I mean, they still hang here after what happened. I mean, that was ancient history. What happened? They learned from that back then.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it, but yes, that happened indeed.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my father friend. I can't think of my father friend name, but he used to tell me the stories of Part Shake back in the day where he would be hanging down at the bar down there or whatever. I forget the name of it. It was an old bar. And they would all be in there. And he would tell me about him talking to all of them, whatever. They just be sitting there just, the way he was talking about it too, with me being fascinated about them back in the day and the way he was talking about it, I was like, you did. He's like, yeah, I was sitting there having a beer with Andre the Giant and, me and Roddy Piper was sitting there talking. I was like, wow, that's cool, Right. Yeah. But Layla, I got it. Like I said, I got a chance. Well, as far as personally, the only one really personally was Nia Jax, and personally, but I got a chance to walk by sons back in the day. Whatever. I missed my little spot at Joe Louis Arena. They just had a little door in the back. After
That's
the matches,
where it was.
People messed it up, man. You could go back there and they'll be walking. They just walk right by you. He did say hi to me. I walked by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby the Brain Heenan that night. King Kong Bundy.
Okay.
I got a chance to. He waved at me, whatever. But there's all right.
That was the spot right in the back.
Yeah,
like
the back. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should tell my Eric Bischoff story because it's so funny.
Man, Moneda, I'm so jealous. Yes, right. Yeah, I'd love to hear about your Eric Bischoff.
I work at Motown Museum. I worked at Motown Museum, and I was a tour guide. So I literally, when the tourists, they watch a movie, and so literally, it's where the bathrooms are placed. So I'm sitting. And this man walked out the bathroom, and I'm like, "Am I tripping?" I was like, "Am I tripping, or is this Eric Bischoff?" So I was. It was still enough time in the video. I was like, "Okay, well, I could go and look." So I get up, I walk around the whole front area. I'm like, I was fully convinced that Eric Bischoff walked out the bathroom. Then I left. Then I went outside, and he was right there. And I'm like, "Excuse me, are you Eric Bischoff?" And he was like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you." We talked for a few minutes. He was really cool. I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "I saw you in there." I was like, "I just felt like that was you." He was like, "Yeah, I know I look a little different. My hair look a little different from back in the day." But
shout out to Eric Bischoff.
Yeah,
yes,
really
sir.
nice.
One person who Monet met, who if I meet him personally, I'm like, "Man, don't you flirt with my daughter like that no more, man." Shout out to my brother Sergeant Slaughter, man. Monet met Sergeant Slaughter, man. And she told me the story about that. I was like, "I'm glad I wasn't there."
Yeah, they're probably not used to I don't know. They probably are used to older men or just men coming up to them. They probably not used to a younger girl coming up and be like, "Hi, can I get a picture?" He was happy. I think Sergeant Slaughter was very happy. He was like, "Yeah, let's do this again next time." I'm like, "All right."
If you're watching Sergeant, I'm gonna have to put you in the camel clutch for that, man.
I really did like that event. I want to shout out Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons was so sweet. Probably one of my favorite wrestlers I've ever met. Just a really wonderful guy. And he even because I was buying the photos, but my friend was with me. He was like, "You know what? I'll do just because I'll do a photo with just you. Then he could get in the photo too." So he was just really wonderful, really nice guy.
All right. Shout out to Miss Glow. She said. I know Monet gonna love this one. Miss Gloria Hawk, she said, "I love Hulk Hogan before I found out he was a racist."
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Well. No,
That hurt a whole lot of
It was so funny when Mo, like I said, that video we was watching last night, when I was like, oh, Hogan 20 something, Monet started smiling. I was like,
because I'm like, that was before everything, so I'm like, that's what the peers said. Nah.
but one guy, like I said, we had the conversation before. One guy that's just one guy during that time you just had to give it to him. Talk about a guy that revolutionized wrestling. It was Hulk Hogan.
That's fair.
In a way.
Yeah.
Fair statement.
But see,
I got my quiet to the mud.
but you know what, Parshay, one thing that I loved back in the day, with me, and I'm pretty sure you probably had a couple. Remember the Pro Wrestling Illustration magazines?
Yes.
That's what really got me into knowing about the Ric Flairs and all them.
Right.
And then and that's the thing I was kind of upset about. I'm like, dang, we can't, oh man, these dudes bad, but we couldn't watch them because they were part of another territory where they wasn't really on TV at the time that much during that one time in the beginning, like the WWF.
I was watching on TBS.
Yeah.
That's what I used to watch it on.
Okay.
My family from down south used to always tell me about Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
So they started putting it on TBS, and I was just paying attention to that really a lot. And it was a channel 31.
That's when I found out about that's
you
couldn't really see it. I used to take my little TV upstairs and put my little antenna like,
that's what we did.
My God,
that's right.
I remember
the South wrestling.
Yeah. You know one wrestling though they did put on TV that made me start to like them. You remember the UWF with Steve what was his name? Steve
Dr. Dev Williams.
Dr. Dev Williams and the one man gang.
That's where Ultimate Warrior came from, and Sting.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie Gilbert. That's where they came from.
And one more quick thing. How did you feel about this? The thing that used to make me mad with Vince. These guys that we talking about, like the Dr. Devs and the one-man gangs, I used to hate when they used to come to WWF and then they whole persona would change or something that they would just be like, man, come on, make them look silly.
The worst out of all of them to me was, what was his name? Terry Taylor, the Red because he was not like that for real.
Don't give Parshay a wonk. Give Vince McMahon a wonk.
You're the biggest wonk.
I used to like
that's one guy that made me mad, Parshay, because I was expecting big things for him. I was so geeked when I found out he was coming. I said, Terry Taylor, oh my God.
Right.
And they turned him to
the Red Rooster.
Yeah.
Right. That was one of my favorites. Then they got him like that. That was horrible.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. All right.
Can we shout out the ladies? We don't talk about no women wrestling.
Go ahead, give me some of your favorite ladies.
My favorite. She would be in my top 10 wrestlers of all time. Sasha Banks, or Mercedes Moné, as she's known now, is one of the best women to ever lace up and continue. She's doing great things outside of WWE. I hope she comes back. It's hard to keep up with outside of the WWE, but I try to keep up with her as much as possible. But that's one of the best women's wrestlers ever. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, you could think about the Trishas, the Litas, a little bit younger than that, but Nikki, I love my Nikki Bella. Shout out Nikki Bella. Bianca, Naomi. I will say this confidently. If it wasn't for women's wrestling, I don't know how active I would be in wrestling right now. The women keep me watching.
Okay, Parshay, who like your top 5 or top women that you loved over the years that you loved as far as the women?
Bianca Belair, then like she said, Sasha Banks, a little bit Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, she could. Yeah,
because I used to like her and Sasha Banks go against each other. I used to like that. That was a good rivalry right there. Right.
Miss Leia, who's some of your favorite women that you love watching in the WWE or anywhere?
Oh, we got a cold.
I like the Bella twins.
Oh, the Bellas, okay, the Bellas.
Sometimes I like Naomi and Bianca. And I like Stephanie McMahon, like when she used to wrestle.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephanie was pretty good. Yeah, she was.
I think that's it for.
Okay, all right, some good ones there. Yes, sir. And a few of my favorites. Mickey James, love Mickey James.
Oh yeah,
Mickey James. Mickey James was one of my favorites. Believe it or not, Mickey James, Jacqueline, love me some Jacqueline.
Yes.
Mickey James. Another one I used to love. she don't never get the props. Jazz.
Yeah.
I used to love Jazz. That woman, man, Jazz. And then y'all know my all-time favorite of all time, man.
Okay.
Nia
Lord.
Jax.
Yes,
sir. Yes,
I
sir.
got one that I said my favorite female was China.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I feel bad. How could I forget China? Yes.
Yeah.
China, she's definitely on that list.
Yeah, I like China because she used to fight dudes.
She's a fucking dude. Yeah, China's bad. Yeah. And you know the reason why they don't like to give her props on there because you know her and Triple H used to date and the Stephanie
the
thing.
wife,
So
okay.
so they don't really talk about but China, I'm glad you mentioned that. Just China definitely was definitely. All right. Miss Layla, we about to wrap up in a minute. But one thing I love to do, I love my guests at the end of the show. I love for them to lead the people with a thought of the day. It could be about anything from your heart that you just love to leave somebody, love to lead the people. It could be about wrestling. It could be about anything. Just anything that from your heart that you just want to leave in your own way.
More peace on earth, like
Ooh.
world peace,
Yes.
like less violence. Like I know wrestling is violence, but like violence.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You couldn't have said it any better. Yes, sir. You okay? That's my wish right there too, Ms. Leia. For real, you said it. Yes, sir. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Thank you, Mr. Parshay. Could you lead anything in your heart, man? Anything. It could be about anything. Lead the people with something, man. Anything.
I would say, everybody, please put God first. He's the head of our household. He's our healer. He's everything. He's just, if you put God first, we wouldn't have all these problems that we have. We'll just love each other.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love you all.
That's
I
what-
love everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Parshay 316, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Monet, could you definitely lead the people with anything from your heart? Anything?
I'll bring it back to wrestling. I think I'm gonna put it out in the air for the whole family. Not next year because I think they're still going to Saudi Arabia. But we will be in the building for y'all. I haven't been to WrestleMania yet, but I'll be in the building for my first WrestleMania soon and Royal Rumble. So that's what I'm gonna put out in the world.
okay.
And CM Punk is winning tonight. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. Let me be delusional.
All right. I'm going to make sure to put a camera on Monet tonight after CM Punk get pinned, y'all. Yes, sir. But like I said, you know what? I know, like I said, wrestling over the years, I know it's changed from for a lot of us over the years, and some, still love it. Some like, some still peek at it. But one thing I love about it is the consistency of wrestling, the storylines, and it's just been entertainment. It's just been that entertainment that just always, it'll bring people back even if they haven't watched all year. People, WrestleMania time come, so I mean, that's one thing I love about wrestling overall. Just the personnels of each one of them, and just yes, sir. This is Ballin with Rich. So glad to have the king of karaoke in the building. next time he come, we're gonna have a karaoke show. We're just gonna sit here. We're gonna have a karaoke show. We're gonna go show you what it's about. Yes, sir. Yes. All right. So glad to have Michelle in the building. Yes, sir. Woo-hoo. Always. All right, Miss Monet, Miss Leia, I'm gonna Miss Leia. Definitely getting with you because I know they're coming back to Detroit before the end of the year. So get ready. All right.
They usually be around that holiday time.
Yeah, summer and yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so glad to have you. Thank you for sharing a lot of your expertise on your wrestling and everything. And next time I'm gonna have an art show. I'd love you to come on that art show, talk about your art. Love art.
Okay.
Oh, okay. She said, okay. All right. Thank you, wifey engineer. All right. Go Pistons.
Go Pistons.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Hawks.
Yes, sir. Oh, you going with this? Aren't your boys in? I thought weren't you OKC guy?
No, Spurs.
Spurs. Okay. Spurs. Okay. Thank you all for watching. And like I said, this is a WrestleMania weekend. We just love to celebrate. Another thing that's personal that's coming up, another 2 weeks, we'll be traveling into DC to see my baby finally graduate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So great times. It's just good to just get together. Like I said, with the WrestleManias, So good to see my brother Parshay and different people just in the house, just just sitting watching, just have a good good time. Some Parshay said, man, I love it. Some of my father, that's what he's always say, put God first and everything. Even when things not going right, turn to Him, and I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. You will be amazed. Yes. I'm saying, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what it is. I'm telling you, turn to God.
Yes.
This is Ballin with Rich, y'all. We about to get going, so we get ready to go watch this Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania is on today. And one thing I love to say before I end the show, thank you, Calvin, Gloria, Ray, Mission, and different other people that's watching. One thing I love to say before I end the show, what do I say, Miss Monet?
If you ain't balling, you ain't living.
Yes, sir.
Right.
She said,
in my notes.
I couldn't ask Parshay because he be watching a couple shows. I should have asked him. All right. What do I say, Parshay?
If you ain't balling, you ain't living.
There it is. Yes, sir. All right. If you ain't balling with Parshay, you ain't balling with Monet, you ain't balling with Parshay, the 300 game, you ain't living. Yes. You ain't balling with Miss Leia. You are winning, y'all. And we are out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Miss Glow. And I got some other people on here. My phone make me sick. Miss Lauren Lewis, all of you guys. Tuesdays, be sure to watch Detroit City Deals, y'all. She's in the building. And we are out of here, y'all. Peace.
I made it.
Finally. The guy always wanted in the building. Finally.
I said, I'm coming through.